Manchester United have gone ahead to obviously approach Xavi to obviously become the replacement of Erik ten Hag, and such stories are really gonna be on the rampart in the next days. Not until the board of Manchester United comes out and really confirms to us whether Erik ten Hag is gonna be leaving or Erik ten Hag is gonna be sacked. That's why we're into this commotion. Antony has gone ahead and spoken out, and Ben McCarthy has something to say about David De Gea and how he was treated at the club of Manchester United. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. First video of the day, and hope the thirst is gonna be quenched in the next minutes to come here onto this channel. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, welcome back from the mosques. I know it has been a Juma Karim, and you guys have gone ahead to enjoy it to the fullest. We are here to bring you the latest news and information about Manchester United, and the cool off of sacking Erik ten Hag is really making everyone wonder and really astonished onto what the next move of the Ineos is. Let's see close to 300 likes. Smash on this video, and don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now let's obviously start it off with a story coming in from it's known as Diarios from Spain. They've told us that Manchester United have approached Xavi and held informal talks with him. However, Javi does not plan to return to management right now and wants to take a sabbatical. Now, when you obviously talk about Javi and his management career, I don't think he's a manager ready to take on the club of Manchester United. And if it's true, because we are a channel that reacts to the news that is going to be put outside there, then it shows the incompetency of these people. Because whom have they moved to reach the level of contacting Javi? You remember, it all started from Thomas Tuchel. You understand? It all started from Thomas Tuchel linking him to Manchester United, even when he still had the job of Bayern Munich, right? Thomas Tuchel off, then Pochettino got sacked at Chelsea, and everyone was like, United is willing to go in for Pochettino. Then after, Kylian McKenna, amongst all managers, I really believe he has aspects of really becoming a very good manager, but not Kylian McKenna at that level to come in through to stabilize the ship at the club of Manchester United. And then later we are linked to the manager of Brentford. I've forgotten his name. You get? Then Xavi. After Xavi now comes in Javi. And for Javi, I feel like he has gone ahead to make a very good decision. He should take a sabbatical. I know there is a good manager in Javi, but you cannot obviously come into a situation that is really happening at Manchester United. The situation is really very, very abnormal, and you don't know what these new owners are really going to stick by, because their recent history at Ineos has been so much about sacking managers than keeping them there. And I think if Xavi had just gone ahead to part ways with Barcelona, there is no need for him to obviously give Manchester United a try. You know, if you're trying to revive your career, you wouldn't like to come in through at a place like Manchester United that is really shrinking. You know, it's leaking, shrinking, and it's not really very appetizing that it can really give you a very good goal to really relaunch your coaching career. But Man United, if they've gone ahead to contact Javi, it is really very, very, very agitating, and it shows you how their incompetency is very high, because this manager Erik ten Hag found Javi last season but won, I think, at the knockout stage of the UEFA Europa League, and he knocked him out, drew 2-2 at his yard, you know, at home, and then beat him at Manchester United by 2-1. I mean, look at the experience Ten Hag has gone ahead to have. Javi doesn't have it. Look at what Ten Hag has gone ahead to achieve at Manchester United and compare it with what Javi has gone ahead to compete to achieve at the side of Barcelona. There is no he comes close. So all in all, as I told you yesterday, the board of Manchester United has come out, obviously understanding that they need to really settle up with the manager. And to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Jean-Claude alike, let's keep Erik ten Hag. Then Dave Braceford is like, let's get in another manager. You get? So That's what is happening, meaning that the majority of the people at Old Trafford are really talking Eric Ten Hag and really giving him a go to stay at the club of Manchester United. Now, we don't know what Jason Willox is saying. We don't know what Dan Ashworth is saying. We don't know what Omar Berada is saying. But I tell you, it is really in a mess, because when you look at the situation at Manchester United, the CEO, who is really the interim, that is Jean-Claude Blanc, is like, we should keep Eric Ten Hag. And guess who hires and fires at a club? It's the CEO, meaning that so far Eric Ten Hag is still safe and his job is going nowhere. So we're here to obviously wait and see what decision is going to be made by the people of Ineos at the club of Manchester United, because all you want to say to it is that we get a final word, we get a final say on to who is really going to be here to do the needful at the club of Manchester United. That's what we want to get, and very soon when it's done, and Goten will tell you. But for Xavi, I don't really want him. I told you that the only manager that was on market that wanted us to get was Hans Flick. You get, having gone ahead to miss out on Hans Flick, the only manager that I would want to replace Eric Ten Hag is Zinedine Zidane. And I don't know whether we've gone ahead to do enough to obviously get him from his sabbatical and return to manage the club of Manchester United. That's what I'm really waiting in for here. So it's really hard. It's really hard for you to convince me that Xavi is the guy. You know, when you look at how he has gone ahead to obviously have misunderstandings with his bosses at Barcelona, I don't think that Ineos would love to obviously have a manager like Xavi, because Xavi will obviously speak what he feels is right, you know. And that's why he was sacked, because they had gone ahead to come to a common understanding that Javi was going to stay. But there are some statements he made towards the second last game of the season, and Laporte said, all right, Javi, those words are really beyond what you are supposed to obviously see as your limits. And they were like, we've gone ahead to obviously sack you. And he got sacked immediately. That is Javi for you. So Javi did it intentionally, because he knew to it that he never wanted to keep this job. Barcelona don't have a budget to compete with other teams, and yet they want him to compete. So I think the sabbatical is really good for Javi, and for Eric Ten Hag, not this week you expect any decision onto his departure. Next week is really going to be one of those moments for us to wait and see whether they are going to really be doing the needful. If you tell me that in the coming future, right, Javi might be considered, yeah, but right now I don't think that he's even under consideration. But I know what it means for his agency. They need to keep their manager into the public eye to see to it that he doesn't really miss out on lots of things that are really happening in the land. Now, after that, let's obviously have Antony. Antony is going to have one of his worst. Last season he tried, but this season has been really worse, to an extent that Amadi Diallo went ahead to obviously equal, I think, the same number of starts he had in the entire Premier League season. And he said on Instagram that 2023-2024 was a very difficult season for many reasons, but I suffered quietly. I took this period to reflect and seek self-knowledge. Today, at the end of another season, I can say that after everything I've been through, I feel much stronger and ready for the challenges. Football gave me everything I have. Thanks to it, I was able to help my family, change my life, and open up a range of opportunities. After time, the experience will give me the tools to achieve my biggest goals. He added and said, which are success, and to build my story in a world as challenging as the one we live in. I thank God, my family, our fans, my work colleagues, and the entire Manchester United staff. Now, when you look at Antony, he's one of those players that came in with high potential, and we really had a lot in him and expected a lot to come from him. You remember that goal he scored on his debut at Old Trafford, you know? He joined the likes of Donny van de Beek, and very many other players that came ahead and really scored on their debut. No sooner had they gone ahead to get signed at the club of Manchester United, but the rest was the next to his story wasn't all that good, and he has gone ahead obviously be featured into the books of one of those players that I expect her to obviously get shown what we call the exit way out of Manchester United. I tell you, you might not really think that it's the way to go, but it's a way to go. I've always told you that if you are to move to the next step, we should obviously have the following. You get? We should obviously have the following out. Antony should go out, get in Olise, because if you're having Olise and Amad Diallo, there is no reason as to why you should go ahead and really spend money on signing Olise. You get? That is it. And I tell you, that's what we are supposed to do. Get Antony out of this team. If you can't really get him out of your team, it is really gonna look very, 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 very weird. And I think he also knows to it that he has gonna hit to perform below average. But Fabrizio Romano came out and told us that Ineos sees a very talented player in Antony, and they've gonna hit to give him more and more chances for him to operate and see to it that he achieves his his milestone in there. So we wait and see how that pans out, but we are here to let you know that nothing is really gonna come up to the levels you expect if at all we don't get rid of players like Antony. And with Omar Berada saying a player is given 2 seasons, if at all he fails, there is no room for keeping him here. And when you read the room, Omar Berada will move on Antony immediately, but maybe he'll come in and say, all right, let me give him 1 more season and see how he's going to really operate. But I tell you, next season, Antony is going to struggle to get into that team of Manchester United. Whether Erik ten Hag is here or Erik ten Hag is not here, I think Amad Diallo has a lot in his lockers that Antony cannot even unlock one of his lockers, because we're going to hate to see how he can do. He is going to hate to be given very many game minutes. He has been prioritized ahead of any other left-footed right attacking midfielder, and we're going to hate to see what he can offer to the club of Manchester United. So that's why I tell you, it's really going to be hard for him to come in through and compete in here. Now, Ben McCarthy, with his contract running out on 30th of June, he has come out and told us that everyone loved David De Gea, an icon, but when your time has come, the manager just felt he wanted a change and to bring in a goalkeeper he knows well, who is good with his feet. Obviously, we know the reason as to why David De Gea was really thrown under the bus. It was because of how he really acted when those moments called in for him, like having the ball at his feet and really being press resistant. And I think he just lacked that very person to obviously tell him that you deserve to know how to really distribute your ball with your feet. And I think he would have gone ahead to learn it, I think in 2014, when Bastian Schweinsteiger came in through the Manchester United club. Remember, when Bastian Schweinsteiger came in through from Bayern Munich, he was asked by David De Gea that, am I better than Manuel Neuer? Bastian told him, no, Manuel Neuer is better than you. But the reason as to why he said that, it was because Manuel Neuer had already gone ahead to be what we call a ball-playing goalkeeper for all his years. And if I was David De Gea by then, I would have gone ahead to ask him, what does he do better than me? I think one of the points would have gone to let him know that he would have gone ahead to be let known by Bastian Schweinsteiger would have been he's a better ball-playing goalkeeper than you. I think that's what would have gone ahead to happen, and that's the answer I would have gone ahead to get. But I think he never utilized the knowledge of this guy, and that's why he found himself in a situation of really putting out, of really not minding his business onto that. But I tell you, if David De Gea had started to practice in 2014 to become a press-resistant goalkeeper, I tell you, he would have been the goalkeeper at Manchester United, and there would have been no need for the manager to obviously go ahead and really do the needful to really see him out. But at the age of 32, 33, a goalkeeper is still having close to 7 years to go from really ending his career at a club like Manchester United. And I tell you what, that was really very, very bad of him. And I think he misread the future. That is it. If I'd gone ahead, obviously read the future very well, he would have gone ahead to find himself in a better position to put in better and better performances and become a press-resistant keeper. And that's why Benjamin McCarthy says, when your time has come, it has come. There is no way you stop it, because that's how your past comes in to obviously affect you in your present. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rock and David is my name. Tell me your thoughts about Manchester United approaching Xavi to replace Erik ten Hag. What do you make about it? Would you go Xavi to replace Erik ten Hag? All that and more into the comment section below. What do you make about the statement that Antony has gone ahead to put out on his Instagram, and Benjamin McCarthy's reason as to why Erik ten Hag showed David De Gea the exit door? May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rock and David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. First video of the day. I promise you more videos are going to be coming in through. And the Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. But 300 likes should be smashed on this video. And don't forget to subscribe, because the more you subscribe, the more you give us a vibe to operate at a level that none of you will ever know, apart from the Almighty God, who knows where this channel is really going to be. Because we started from far. We're here at 17,000 subscribers and we want to hit 18,000 subscribers. Guys, let's make it a point and let's make the dream happen, because teamwork makes a dream work. Bye bye.